and learn how you can plan your estate using a will or a trust to protect your family and secure your legacy. That's Life, Death, and the Law every Monday morning from 8 to 9, right here on 560 AM KBLU.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. It's all the way back to Monday. Mel's with me.
Good morning.
You know how that works. It goes right back to Monday. So
Yeah.
where's that weekend go?
We never get ahead, do we?
No, never get ahead. Hyundai of Yuma, they are advertisers, sponsors on the show, all that kind of stuff. Get over there on 32nd Street. Yeah, they're still around. I mean, we're doing holiday stuff and shopping and all that. Go take a test drive while you're doing it. Make sure you get that out of the way. Hyundai of Yuma, America's best warranty. And that's 5 years, 60,000 miles, 10 years, 100. That includes Kia and Genesis. Let me tell you, they are sister companies and all owned by the same veteran-owned business and wants to take care of you. And then holiday season, take good care, get a safe car, one that's not going to break, all that kind of stuff. And that's a good deal. Let's take a phone call, Mel. You're on the air.
Hey, gang.
Good morning.
First off, how y'all doing?
Doing well, sir. Good morning.
First off, I'd like to see you start off with the worst inflation in 40 years that this dirtbag has brought to America.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
And not a lot of people are framing it like that. We've got these fake news guys all over saying what a wonderful thing this economy is. Mm-hmm. They're nuts.
They are so full of it, Russ.
Yeah.
They're just so full of it. Now, Biden has been in government since 1972. Fossey has been there since 1968. Why is the voter still listening to these jerks? If they knew anything, they would have told you that what they knew back in 1968 and 1972.
They don't even have a good track record.
No. No, they don't.
Yeah.
Now, everybody's making a big hullabaloo about Dole passing. Well, Dole, yeah, he was a veteran and all that stuff. So was I.
Yeah.
So was I. He was Biden's buddy. His wife, Elizabeth, that would be Dole's wife, Elizabeth, had a $2 to $6 million gig with Red Cross, if y'all remember. Mm-hmm. Then she went on and became a senator in some of the states that she was not from Kansas.
Okay.
You understand where I'm going with this?
No.
They're in it for themselves, guys. Quit with this compassionate, this hero crap. What we need to do, stupid both bar.
I happen to love Bob Dole. I do.
Well, no, I was a veteran. I respect him for being a veteran, as same as myself.
I respect him for his leadership. And,
I know. Well, I'm not calling you for you to explain away what my feelings are for Bob Dole.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
That's fine. We got bigger fish to fry. I mean, Bob's not even a current subject.
And I'd like to get on with it real quick here.
All right.
I saw the mayhem caused by Hurricane Katrina, Carla, Edna, and so forth.
Right.
The runaway fires in California. The tornadoes have been exploited since Dorothy and the Yellow Brick Road. Remember the Yellow Brick Road?
Yes.
Okay, being exploited. Now we got Mayfield, Kentucky. I wonder if they're going to find Dorothy's red shoes there somewhere. You wonder?
It was a pretty bad disaster. I mean, that one candle factory,
was terrible. I'm trying to make a point here.
All right.
Man cannot cause this kind of damage. He may have built bombs, but when he does, he kills like 460,000 people when he's also on that size. Don't be talking about a 200-mile stretch of tornado here. That is nature's force at work. Now, if we don't address climate change, I'm talking about instead of throwing, I led off with saying we got the biggest inflation in 40 years.
Right.
We're wasting our money. We should be looking at the cycles of the planet every 100,000 years, the ice age versus the warm weather belt, and we should be rebuilding like right now. We should be rebuilding Mayfield with thermal-proof housing. Quit wasting it on tin, aluminum awnings and crap.
Well,
Russia has an underground shopping mall in Moscow, folks. We don't have nothing like that. Oh, we got Cheyenne Mountain for government employees to run to and hide. But we got nothing for the taxpayer. My point is, of all this crap I've been talking about here, the taxpayer need to wake up. We got November the 1st, 2022 to wake our asses up and get somebody in there that can do the government for us.
All right. OG, I appreciate the call, my friend.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. You fired up early, man.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm going to talk a little bit about that tornado thing later, too, because that was the way they're spinning it and all that stuff's got. I mean, it was a disaster. It was terrible.
Sure.
And Kentucky got hammered. And one factory, there were 107 people in that factory or something like that. And they've only accounted for 40 of them or so. I mean, it's I'm like, what? The death rate in Kentucky's at 80, and they expect it to be well over 100 by the time they discover what's really going on in the rubble and everything else and find people. I mean, there's people missing right now because they just took off. Yeah. They got to find out. They got to find out which ones are missing. Yeah. They took off, or their tornado blew them away. We don't know. Well, terrible stuff, but it's not what the press is depicting it. And OG's right on that. I'll explain that a little bit. I want to get into the newspaper. Let me see. Well, this was Sunday, the one that I really liked. Well, they told the truth on the front page of the paper, Mel. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. We were talking about the hospital being filled up and everything.
Well, and I've been talking about, because I get some anecdotal information all the time where the hospital's full because of illegal immigrants. It's full because of illegal immigrants. And we get the press and everybody saying, well, the hospitals are full because of COVID. Mm-hmm. Well, today's the first day, and I've had people tell me, now this is all anecdotal and it's not researchable, but I've had people tell me they couldn't get surgery in Yuma. It's canceled months ago. It's been going on for 6 months or 8 months. It's been since Biden's been in office, for sure. And because it was too filled with illegals and they had to go to Phoenix, they had to go to other places. We just couldn't use our local hospital because it's being used for international business. Mm-hmm. Just that simple.
Yeah.
Well, there was no confirmation. You can't talk to him about the hospital. We don't keep records. And they're liars. And they know when they talk to somebody. What's on the front page of the paper this morning? That says at least 20 to 25 migrants a day show up at Yuma Regional Medical Center. Mm-hmm. That's how many people show up. That doesn't mean they walk right back out. They may stay for a while.
That's right. That's it.
Keep in mind where we had like 420, 450 hospital beds, depending on what day they count them. They're going to take up a lion's share.
Well, they are taking it up. And the thing is, nobody wants to admit if that's who's doing it.
Well, and they come in with dire needs, and and they come in with needing surgeries, needing childbirth. They're taking up ICU and childbirthing rooms.
Well, there was a thing about that about the maternity ward was overflowing.
The hospital's overrun, and the NICU, which is the very sick babies, they're like at 125% capacity on the maternity unit. And all that. So they're influxing like crazy. I mean, they just we can't sustain it. And you got the winter visitors in town and everything that need the access to the hospital. Man, look, we have our hospital built for who we are with the migrant workers and as well as our winter visitors, but not adding this to it. This is bigger than both of those probably.
Yeah.
Well, it's time they said something, but they said they come to the emergency department dropped off by Border Patrol. That's a sheer giveaway, even though they say they don't ask. I mean, they don't ask nationalization, but they know from talking to people like, where's your family? Guadalajara. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody local? No, I don't know anybody in the United States. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they know, but they have to find out point of contacts and everything. Well, they're taking Uber. They're arriving on foot. Emergency rooms, I mean, they're coming in with a Border Patrol dropping them off. And keep in mind, the hospital's picking up this tab.
Yep.
Which means we pick up the tab.
But in the long run, that's right.
Because we're the ones that pay enough to keep the hospital afloat. Between us and taxpayers. Because someone's coming out of taxpayers, which is us too. Mm-hmm. It's all us. We're paying for this.
In the long run, it is. That's right.
Uncle Joe's not down here with Hunter writing checks.
No. If he was, they'd be bouncing.
Some go just for checkups. I mean, there's someone coming in every day just to use them as their regular doctor care because they don't have a primary care physician. So you just go to the emergency room, hang out. Say, I need to see a doctor. I got this thing growing on my toe or something. It's not surprising. I knew it was going on, but I couldn't really talk about it because there was no confirmation and all the stuff that we don't keep track of it. But now we have even the CEO, Dr. Robert Trenchel. He said they're feeling the strain. The issue is that we've got a good amount of COVID right now. Now, if you look at the COVID, it's been between 50 and 60 a day. And Mel, when he says COVID, it kind of implies, well, that's human COVID. No, a lot of that is across the border COVID. It's not just Yuma.
Right. People that are coming across not being checked, and we find out later.
Biden is letting it, and they're saying up to 20% are coming across with COVID. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are going right to the emergency room. I could never get that documented. I mean, I've heard a lot of people tell me about it, but I can't just pass rumor on.
No.
I mean, I'll mention a little bit that I heard some from somebody, but it don't count on it. But by and large, it's nice to hear it, though, Mel. We've been kept in the dark. We've been lied to. We've been kept in the dark.
Yeah,
and the hospital, for whatever reason, doesn't release that information. And they're in a touchy situation with HIPAA laws and everything else. Yeah. But I guess now that we're under emergency because declared by our good mayor, Doug Nichols, they're talking about it. They do go on that say they don't get discharged as quickly either because there's no place for them to go.
Where to go? That's right.
So they don't discharge. They end up staying in the hospital. And by law, hospitals have to provide a safe discharge, which means that the YRMC has to ensure they're safe. So I said, okay, what does that mean? Make sure yourself. I mean, they don't. Look, if somebody's homeless and gets out of the hospital, they just go back to being homeless.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you're a migrant and you're new to the country and you have no relatives, they will put you in a hotel room. The hospital pays for it, not the federal government on this one. I mean, again, it's all our money, regardless of who it is.
Yeah.
Says when we discharge maternity patients, we have to buy car seats for them because they don't have car seats. They want to make sure the baby's safe. I mean, do they do that for U.S. citizens? I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, there are programs for free car seats occasionally, that people have gotten together for. But sometimes we get hotel rooms because they have nowhere to go. It's a challenge for the system because they don't have any resources. There's no family. That's because they just paid $6,000 to a coyote to get them over here and then stick us with everything else.
Yep. That's right.
This is nuts, Mel.
Well, the whole system.
Who the heck is running this country?
The whole system is nuts.
I mean, this isn't our hospital's fault. I mean, they're doing what legally they have to do. And having a safe discharge sometimes means patients wind up staying in the hospital longer, which backs up everything, Mel. It's backing up emergency rooms, backing up everything. So don't get sick right now.
No. That's the only advice you can give, quite frankly.
But I'm knowing people that had to go to other hospitals to get treated because Yuma is backed up. Mm-hmm. And now they're back to not taking any non-essentials. Yeah. So if it's not a life-threatening operation, it's one of those scheduled operations.
Yep.
You may not get that.
Or you'll get it, but 6 months down the road, maybe.
Of course, at the same time, we were under this gun about everyone's going to get fired at the hospital that doesn't have his vaccine. Now, that's been lifted because of a judge.
Yeah.
A judge did that. That said, look, this is ridiculous. And we would have lost additional people. We don't have enough now, probably. Well, I mean, I haven't heard lately the strain, but I know there is one. Well, they have to take care of everybody that walks through the door. That's federal law. That's true. If you show up at the hospital, you're taken care of. Maybe not immediately. There may be a wait. But people come in with dehydration, severe diabetes, people needing dialysis, patients with heart disease on the verge of needing a bypass. Okay. And these people are all getting free medical when they come in here.
Sure. Well, it's free to them.
Yeah, well, they paid the coyote all their money.
Well, the medical care is free to them. It's not free to you and me.
Yeah. Trenchel says they have to stop coming across. We can't handle the volume. And our normal weather volumes are here, and the COVID volume is up on top of that. But that COVID is that's probably as many
as much as anything else.
And everything's a guess because no one's going to tell us anything specific. Nobody. I just hear from some of the people that have worked there that it's a mess because these illegals are coming in with COVID. They're coming in with severe diseases. They're taking up operating rooms because a lot of these things are emergency. They're coming in here and they need medical help like right now. And that may be part of the reason they came here in the first place. Like I can pay for this operation for $50,000, or I can pay $6,000 to a coyote and just
let the Americans pay for it. Sure.
And I tell you, there's a lot of people, and thanks to Gary Snyder and that bunch and all those people that are out there working, they have files of records. Like these people are ditching passports and airline information, everything, digging and putting in the sand right outside the border, which Gary's been picking up and everything and keeping files of. But they're flying airplanes into Mexico, running across the border, and going to the hospital. And say, I don't have any way to pay, I don't have anything to do, why don't you put me in a hotel room?
Yep.
And they got to pay the coyote, you ain't getting across otherwise. I mean, it's a racket.
Yeah.
And some of that's going to some of the government employees and stuff that are making sure the dam's got low water and everything. And all that stuff. That's all crazy. Trenchell says he's writing to Cinema, asking for assistance and all that, as the mayor is. Well, that's here's the good news, Mel. The good news is we're finally being told the truth.
Yes.
But we should have been stating this all along. Every hospital should be screaming, and the national news should be covering it.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, people say, "Well, it's not hurting anything."
Well,
what the hell are you talking about?
But that's because the national media has got their own agenda.
Yeah.
And they don't want anything that's going to upset that agenda, upset that cart.
Yeah. Well, before I take a break, I'm going to tell you, I was at the Christmas light parade on Saturday night. Absolutely wonderful, Mel. And I got downtown and I parked behind Lutz Casino. I was the last parking lot available. I was at 4:30. This thing doesn't kick off till 6:30. It doesn't get down. To 6. Doesn't get downtown till 6:30. Yeah. So I was there 2 hours before the parade was going to be there. And I think the last parking lot I got was because somebody pulled out, because the place was packed. There was the dirt lot where you park for the train and all that, packed completely. Everything was packed. At 4:30, and I said, well, I'm going to try the parking lot anyway, even though I saw other people circling. And I just went to the far area where they weren't yet. And I said, my God, there's one. I've just lived right, I just lived right. Just got right in there. But what a wonderful time. And I met a Czechoslovakian, I think it was Czech Republic, Czechoslovakian guy named Jan. Like you're yawning, like you're tired, Jan. Wonderful guy. He's been in Arizona for quite a while, and he migrated here when he was 21 or something. And he said, you better be careful because I see you guys taking on communism and stuff, and that's when he escaped. He got away from all that, oppressive government. Now we're having oppressive government. He sees it. How come we can't see it? Because we haven't experienced it yet. We got to get back into that first or something.
The thing is, once you get into it all the way, you're not going to get out. That's the problem. So,
well, it's not easy, but yeah, communist countries have gone back. Mel, there's some that have taken back. In fact, Czechoslovakia had a revolt too.
Yeah.
And they did the same. It's not easy, and it takes a long, long time, and it takes a lot of pain, suffering, and death before you get there.
And you had people who were educated, who were running things, started taking the steps necessary. The problem is that our educational system nowadays is geared the other direction.
Well, I think they do. I think there's an intent there by the left to change the school system to make sure we have a lot of good Democrats coming out of it, that are progressive, that are communist in nature.
Well, it's what Marx planned back in the 1850s.
But the parade was wonderful, and my granddaughter was in the parade. And
she?
Yeah, and she was on the Miss Yuma County float because she was a princess, one of the princesses up on. So she had a day, and it's just a great time for a little 4-year-old. And so I went along the main street there, and and talking to people and saying, look, when float 49 comes down, Caitlin's 4 years old. You yell Caitlin. Forget Miss Yuma County. You yell Caitlin. So I did on both sides of the street. I was talking to people. They all thought I was nuts, which is a fair assessment. I'm not disagreeing with them, but they did. But I got a call from my daughter that as soon as Caitlin gets there, you got to pick her up and take her to the restroom. She ain't going to make it. So we screamed Caitlin for a very short time. I had to run that girl off and get her to a restroom. But what a wonderful show. Really great way to start Christmas. There's been so many Christmas, Christmas lighting, the light parade. You keep going to these things. You can't be the Grinch, although the theme of it was tradition, right? Mm-hmm. So I saw a ton of them that had the Grinch. Everybody had the Grinch. I mean, people like it because they smile and laugh. And it's still a grumpy old man. still that, but great start to the deal. And a lot of people were in love with the lights, all these LED lights, and some of these bands. Like every individual was lit up in the bands, because those LEDs can do it with a few batteries.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool deal to have that.
I'm all in favor of all these things, but I wish people would remember the reason for the season.
Well, there was a lot of that in there too, my friend.
Yeah.
There was a lot of churches involved and nativity scenes. That was not forgetting. That was part of the tradition too.
Good.
And I think it all can be done together, celebration. And,
no, it can be. The thing is that often it is not, and that's what bothers me.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, if you have commercialization only and none of the other in there. Although I thought they did a nice job with mixing that up. And some of the churches really go all out. They have some of the biggest floats of the nativity scenes and live stuff in the nativity scenes. So they were well represented on all of that. All right, I'll take a break and I'll be right back. I got a couple guests. I got guests from 7 and 7:30 both. I got guests. So
all right.
We're not going to get a lot of time to do show stuff, man. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
The clouds are here. The rain is on the way. Tomorrow's when we'll get the wet weather. Today we're dry, 69. Tomorrow partly cloudy, slight chance of a shower, 71, and then cooler by Wednesday. Shop 40 to 70% off almost everything at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. This week only, plus new deals on outerwear and sweats. Say through December 15th at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith from the Weather Channel.
In today's Farm and Ranch headlines from AgNet West, Irrigation Association announced the winners of its new product competition. More after the break.
First tattoo, huh?
Yep, I wanted to read tough on psyllids, easy on bees.
What's the story behind that?
Well, on my orchard, I use this powerful stuff from BASF called Safina Inscalis insecticide.
Sorry, it's gonna sting. So, Safina insecticide?
It's strong on psyllids and quickly limits HLB spread, but gentle on bees.
Gentle on bees?
Yeah, they're the bee's knees. Be strong and gentle with Safina insecticide. Always read and follow label directions.
Much like many events and contests the past couple of years, the Irrigation Association 2021's new product contest was conducted by combining both virtual and live events. 40 new product and technologies vied for the chance to be named a top product in irrigation. Each of the products fit into one of 5 categories, but all of the products were judged on innovation, design quality, increased water or resource use efficiency, ease of use, and product life expectancy. The winner of the agriculture irrigation category is a cloud-based system that allows more flexibility with water input scheduling based on precision irrigation. The winner of the agriculture specialty category went to a service that takes an integrated approach to intelligent irrigation scheduling and observation of plant response by using satellite imaging. The winner of the landscape irrigation category is a complete solution to monitor drip system performance, provide flow measurement, filtration, and pressure regulation. The winner of the landscape specialty category is a tool that works with existing valves to improve irrigation efficiency. And the winner of the landscape lighting category is a versatile light constructed to withstand tough outdoor conditions. To take a look at all 5 winners and the other entries, visit www.irrigationshow.org. Reporting for AgNet West Radio Network, I'm Danielle Leal.
Spectrum Mobile is reinventing wireless again. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month per line. No contracts, no added taxes or fees. Includes nationwide 5G. Save up to 60% with Spectrum Mobile. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month. Call 855-438-2999 or visit a store near you. Offer valid for new customers on 2+ unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Savings based on 2-line comparison of unlimited plans among major national carriers as of 9/2021. Prepaid excluded. Restrictions apply.
Be sure to listen Sunday afternoon from noon to 2 for the radio show that talks about all things real estate with award-winning broadcaster Stephen Gasquet. It's everything you need to know about your home, from buying and selling. Brought to you by PhD. When your home needs a professional home doctor, call PhD 344-911-1.
Mickey B's Cocktail Lounge has a new look because they have new ownership. Come celebrate to live entertainment and dance to your favorite oldies or country. If singing is your thing, karaoke every Monday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. till 10. Mickey B's is a supporter of our local veterans. Oh, mark an appointment on your calendar to join in. Bring a friend or the whole office. Mickey B's opens 10 a.m. daily. 12635 South Frontage Road.
Hi, I'm Russell McLeod with Accurate Automotive Attention.
And I'm Carrie Tater with Arizona's Children's Association. For children entering foster care, it's a very traumatic time, especially in emergency situations. That's where ASCA comes in. We want to provide them with a suitcase to carry their belongings instead of a usual trash bag. Imagine the difference to their self-esteem.
You are probably wondering what this has to do with Accurate Automotive. Please drop off a new or used suitcase to either of our locations. Imagine the difference you can make in these kids' lives.
Arizona runs on affordable energy produced right here at home. But as prices on everything rise, politicians in D.C. want to increase the cost of American-made energy. That means we may have to rely on energy from foreign producers instead of here in America, potentially making it more expensive to live here in Arizona. Tell Senator Kelly, don't tax American energy producers, because affordable, reliable solutions are made in America. Paid for by Energy Citizens.
Bells will be ringing, this sad, sad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. Mel's in the studio.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Gilbert's on the phone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Russ. Mel, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I was thinking about getting on that motorcycle, going for a ride this morning.
Chilly.
It's 46 degrees. I became a fair weather rider since I retired.
Way. Put those leathers on, man. Get out there.
Absolutely. Hey, anyway, they want suitcases. Just listen to your advertisement just now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of suitcases out there at Morales Dam. And I'm talking nice suitcases.
People are just dumping them?
Dumping them. I'm talking nice suitcases. Nice with wheels on them.
Wow. I guess there's limits on what they can bring in then?
I think what they do is have their clothes in the suitcases, and then once they come across, they change their clothes.
I mean, there's a lot of money. You know how much they're paying coyotes. They're paying tons of money. And then they go to our hospital for free.
Well, Russ, I was with Gary Schneider and Don Thompson the other night, Saturday night. Have you seen the videos? Did Gary seen those videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, he wanted to call in, but I took you first. You know that?
He's my buddy.
Yeah.
Well, what we did was we traveled from Morales Dam, and we headed south until we got to San Luis. And we found stuff all along the dirtway, instead of the roadway. And one area, I think it was maybe 10 to 15 clothes, pieces of clothes that they just crossed. The clothes are still wet. And we're talking 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, they're trashing the place up. I've been out there. They're taking away dumpsters and dumpsters of trash out there.
Yeah.
Been so many people.
Well, what I'm getting at, these guys are wanting to come across in the darkness and walking across in the water. These people, I was cold.
You know, I was walking the neighborhood with my little 4-year-old granddaughter last night, and there were a couple groups of like, I don't know, a dozen young men that don't normally walk around like that. You know, just walking real briskly all over the place. And I said hello, they didn't say anything back. But I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're migrants or farmers but they don't live there. What?
A lot of these people that are coming in, the young men that are coming in, they're like military age.
Yeah,
I know I'm a conspiracy theorist. I know I am. And you know what? And these guys are being placed. They are being strategically placed.
I was just kind of, I don't know why they're walking through this residential area. You know, they're.
Well, they can because they can.
Well, yeah, it's a free country. They can walk anywhere they want.
They can check things out. Look what's happening in San Luis. They're not talking about it, but a lot of the places are getting ransacked in County 19.
Well, and I'm
we got a thing on Facebook.
I need to talk to some local authorities and see if there's been an increase in problems. But if there is, we need to get that message out there and tell people be careful. Now, I didn't see these guys doing anything wrong. But
it still makes you think.
Yeah, it does. It does. It was just unusual. See a big group of guys walking around like that. There's usually better places to be on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
You know.
We were at the port. Yes, that's it's called. The wall. There was 29 people left there. There was a bigger group, but they took out the elderly and they took out the children from there. They made two different trips. We were on a third trip, and every one of them had a brand new mask.
Yeah.
If they were wearing a mask and traveling as they said they were, those masks were pretty clean. Very clean.
Well, the whole thing stinks. They're all getting there.
The whole thing.
Yeah, they're not walking from Honduras.
No.
They ain't walking.
No, exactly. They had some nice looking Adidas shoes. But what I want to get to,
all right,
Gary, we were asking them all these questions, where they're from, Cubans, Colombians, blah 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 blah, and they all had the same script. Everyone had the same script.
Oh, I'm fully aware.
Yeah. And then Gary asked him, if you were able to vote as a citizen right now, who would it be? All of them in unison said Biden.
Yep, they come in with Biden shirts. They got that stopped right away. Yeah. Biden probably put a note out. Yeah. Hey, stop it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, I got to run. I got more callers backed up. I got to get to them.
All
right, man.
Bye.
You see how he is. He's just hogging the whole thing. Let me see if I can get Gary on. Do I have to dial the area code?
Yes.
I do?
Yes.
Let me start over.
It's a new change that came out just last month, I think they started.
Let me see if this works. I don't usually call people. I let, I usually let them call. It's ringing. We'll see if it's Gary.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gary. This is Russ. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just about to head out to the border to recap last night's surge that we had coming in, immigrants, which is actually illegals.
You've been out there.
Immigrants sound good.
Yeah, illegal. You've been out there, like, showing people around. You still have, was it Don in town?
Yeah, Don's here. He was actually supposed to leave today, but he's going to extend his stay another 2-3 days because what's happening on Saturday is very different than what happened on Sunday. Right now, when we went, me, Gilbert, and Don, Saturday kind of looked like Tent City. We see some blankets and stuff like that. The question is where the blankets came from because it wasn't there when I last came a few days before. Then Sunday, we found out that question. There's a nonprofit coming from California, LA area. They call themselves SOS. It's a Latino-based foundation that works from the Mexican side and the American side. The lady in charge of that, I actually had the pleasure of meeting her. She said she's been doing this for 3 to 4 years. Non-political party, supposedly, but she, the way she was talking and the way she was recommending, especially the federal grants, came from the Democratic side. Actually,
so she's an NGO. She's getting governmental grants.
Yeah, she said, that she's getting it from Agricultura.
Doesn't surprise
The lady
me.
itself is bringing peanut butter, water, and tuna. It looks like and don't take it directly. It's not food from here, Yuma County, but it looks like a food that you would receive at a food bank or something.
Okay.
At your local food bank. Not from the food bank here, but like that. Also, the blankets ain't something that you can just buy. These are blankets that's been donated from elderlies for, years and years. All of a sudden, this Sunday, which was yesterday, there's about 500 blankets. Old style, old school. It looked like literally Tent City.
Oh, so they're using them
Philo Tent City has nothing on this.
They're using them to make makeshift tents out of these blankets or something?
Yeah, they're making tents out of these blankets to cut down the wind factor. Yesterday, there was about, on one section, 7 fires, and I'm talking about big fires. The wood's coming from the American side, but on the other side of the wall, the trees are already cut down, miraculously,
right?
And they just pull it in to turn them on. That was in the subsection, which was Cocopaw, Tribal Land, and Somerton Land. And we go there, and I asked them, who are you voting for? They all said Biden. There's a few Cubans that said Trump because they know what it is, socialism and tyranny.
Right.
I was fortunate to have CNN LA there with one of the reporters. Unfortunately, no one really wanted to talk to her. Her Spanish was broken, but everyone at least knew CNN from over there. They didn't want them. They wanted Telemundo, they wanted the Latino guys to speak Spanish. So I've been an opportunity to talk with Don, real America voice, and translate what's going on. This is not just a humanity. This is a safety issue. This is an EO issue, and this is biohazard issue. And I hold our local electives accountable because they've let this happen. Everyone keeps saying the federal. They keep throwing towards Ducey. I'm sorry to say, how long did it take for them to actually put a trash can out there? There's funds to be able to bring more trash cans. Because when I was doing these border cleanups, no one was there. There was no trash cans, and it's been going on for months. Right now, it's to the point where the trash itself is actually now in the agriculture, into the land, where people are walking through the lettuce, throwing the trash in the lettuce. Last night, I documented the information. But what's even worse is our local Little Caesar pizzas are either abating or enabling as a humanitarian, giving them pizza or giving it to the nonprofit because miraculously there was 400 boxes of pizza of Little Caesars there for all 3 areas of the hotspots that are crossings.
Well, and you don't object to giving somebody lunch or drink and all that stuff, but you don't want them starved. But you pass out water too, make sure they're comfortable.
That is correct, but it's disheartening that where's our homeless here, our veteran homeless that are getting Little Caesars pizza.
You don't get
just like when you talked a little bit earlier about the hospital,
right?
There's all that extra that we're supposed to get in.
I was glad they ran that story because I've known about it for a long time. Just can't say anything because you can't document it. It's nice to have it in the paper to where Trenchell admits it.
Right. Well, I'm glad that our local TV station is finally reporting the news. I've been blessed that they've been using my videos to forecast, their segments at the border, which I'm excited. Not too excited that they use my videos and then they put other county supervisors' talk on there. But
it's okay.
But it's understandable.
Yeah.
It's understandable. It needs to be pushed. But like I said, I do hold accountable our elected officials, our board of supervisors, all the mayors, not just one mayor, because this is a county-wide issue. This is Somerton, this is San Luis, and you don't see these gentlemen talking about it. Why? Because in 2022, their campaign's coming up, and since they're a part of the Democratic Party, they don't want to talk about immigration or what's going on right now, because that's not a good look for them.
Well,
they can't back their higher up, which is Biden.
That's a good point. Hey, I do have a message into Mayor Nichols, and he's going to get back with me today about setting up a time to meet with Don on that from that news station. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, he needs the opportunity because this needs to be forecasted nationwide. I know he proclaimed a few days ago a state of emergency.
Yeah.
This was a state of emergency since 6 months ago.
Oh,
every day.
It has been, and it's not getting better. I appreciate the call, my friend. We'll see you
Thank
later.
you, and he needs to put the pressure on the other mayors to do the same.
I agree. Didn't even think about it, but yeah, politically they're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
They need to start taking care of the people and stop being afraid. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Take care.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
At Batteries Plus, we power family road trips. We power bedtime stories. We power our local hospitals. We power connections with friends. We do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. How powerful is that? Visit Batteries Plus in store, curbside, and online for fast and reliable phone and tablet repair. Learn more at batteriesplus.com.
As 2021 speeds towards a close, what will 2022 bring for your business? Will it be more of the same, or will you vow to do things differently to start your year? Will you spend this month coming in for a soft landing, ensuring a slow takeoff next year? Or will you build momentum and velocity now and soar to new heights in the coming year? We all have a choice. Some choose to step forward while others wait and see. Fortune favors the bold. Learn how to be bold in your business right now at yumaadvertising.com.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. Mel's in studio.
Yes, sir.
How many on the Senate side?
I don't know, but this one article here has this Mark Brnovich, Jim Lehman, Blake Masters, and Michael McGuire as being the
okay. Those are the top runners.
As the top ones. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of good people.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Justin Olson is in there too somewhere, and he's going to call in tomorrow. I got Mick McGuire calling in at 7:05. So if you're not him, don't call in at 7:05. Chris Wallace is leaving Fox News, Mel.
Is he?
You sad about that? Not me. I think it's about time. He left. He left a while ago. He just, and I think he speaks well. He does okay, but he's definitely very liberal. Very. I don't like that. That debate that he took part in with Trump and Biden. When I say took part, I think he became the third person.
He was supposed to moderate, and he wasn't moderating.
No, he was debating Trump.
Debating along with Is.
Yeah, he was debating Trump, interrupting Trump, and all that kind of stuff. I really thought it was a terrible. And he's leaving for CNN. Now, he said he was leaving, and Sunday was his last time, and he said he's leaving and all that, and he's been there 18 years, all that kind of stuff. And he's going for better opportunity. And then CNN announced afterwards that he's coming over there to CNN, which is fine. That's where he belongs.
Yeah.
And then I read an article that suggests it was because of Tucker Carlson. Because Tucker would talk about things, and then Chris would be the opposite of him all the time.
Yeah.
And of course, Tucker Carlson moved up to stardom real fast, and Chris has been there longer. Been there 18 years.
Languished in second place for a long time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, or fifth. He's not that big. But overall, I think he's a competent guy and all that. I just don't like his politics and the fact that He leans very left and all that kind of stuff.
The thing is,
anti-Trumper.
I would like reporters to report.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not interested. Their own personal beliefs should not enter in when they're reporting.
Yeah, it's impossible to do it 100%. But some of these guys, they become part of the conversation.
Some of these folks, that's exactly right. Well, the way Wallace pushed himself in on that debate that he
interrupted Trump all the time.
Exactly,
and just didn't do it to Biden.
No,
and that was ridiculous. The whole thing, it was ridiculous.
Exactly right.
Tom Brady. I know you're not much of a football fan, but he's actually doing some fabulous thing. He just became the number one in completions for the NFL all time.
Yeah.
And it's 7,156. Now, Mel, that's a heck of a career. But that includes playoffs and everything. Yeah. If you take out the playoffs and regular season, I forget what it is. It's in passing, I got passing touchdowns. He's got 700. Which is number one in that too. But if you take out the playoffs, it's only 602, which was still number one. Yeah. Doesn't even matter. So good for him for passing all those guys. And he's a young 44-year-old.
Yeah.
Just he's 44, Mel. That's unheard of. That from what I remember when I was watching football, no one's 44.
Well, back in the day, there was a guy named George Blanda.
I remember.
But he was mostly a kicker. He played some quarterback towards the end of his career, but mainly he was. At the end of his career, he was a kicker.
Deal. He just jumped up once in a while and kicked.
Yeah.
But he
scored 3 points every time he kicked.
Blanda when he retired?
I have no idea.
I wonder if we thought he was an old man. We might find out he was younger than Brady is now. I don't know, but football has definitely changed a little bit. I got to talk about Fauci a little bit. I like him less all the time, Mel. And it's not a personality thing as much as he's just a liar. And just his policies, he's moving the goalpost all the time. He changes his mind all the time. He lies to Congress. How is this guy still there is remarkable to me, but there are some, as much as I dislike him, there's some people out there that want to, send him money and hug him. They think he's just wonderful.
George Blanda retired in 1975 at the age of 48.
Wow. 48.
48.
So we know that Brady will still be around 48 being quarterback.
Yeah.
At least he says he wants to be. He doesn't see any reason not to. I don't know if he'll stay with the Bucs. I don't know. He made him a championship team in 1 year. But I think good players follow him, too.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. And, quite a player. But Fauci says right now we're talking about Christmas. Christmas is coming up. It's right around the corner now, Mel. It's already the 13th. For those of you keeping track of shopping days, you don't have many. Like a dozen. Well, he says families should ask, maybe require COVID vaccine for holiday guests before you're allowed in the house. What is his reality? His reality is so different from mine. I told you I was at the Christmas parade or the light parade this weekend and all that kind of stuff. And I'll bet, and I looked, I saw a couple masks, maybe 1 in 100, 1 in 200, I don't know. But we're not in a pandemic here.
No.
I mean, yeah, we got some COVID people in the hospital where they should be, just like they do for the flu or West Nile disease or who knows what else, or Lyme disease, or, but we can't bubble wrap ourselves and shut everything down.
Well, that's what he wants to do, though, is bubble wrap the whole population, for crying out loud.
Well, he said in the Washington Post, when you get vaccinated, you should have a vaccine group. And you're in an indoor setting you can enjoy, as we have traditionally over the years. Really, he's going to dictate if I can enjoy? I don't enjoy reading him. Dinners and gatherings within the home with people who are vaccinated. Man, they're pushing it hard.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, look at every other ad on TV is get your shot, get your shot.
And that's the reason why people should, if they invite people into their homes, essentially ask and maybe require that people show evidence that they are vaccinated. Can you imagine? You're going to send out an invitation, stop them at the door, say, show me your card.
Yeah.
Show me the papers. Show me your papers.
Hire a bunch of MPs to stand at the door.
Jesus, man. Or give an honest and good faith word that they've been vaccinated. How about I give an honest and good faith ain't none of your business? Good Lord. And he says that vaccinated are much less likely of hospitalization or death. Now, see, that goalpost changed because it was like you're not going to get the disease.
Yes.
Well, now we know that's not true.
That's right. We know that getting the shot does not mean you're not going to get the disease.
And in fact, in our hospital here, and in most hospitals, it's between 15 and 20% of everybody in there of the COVID ward
have had the shots.
Have had fully vaccinated.
Yep.
Between 15 and 20%, fully vaccinated. And they're in the hospital. What the hell are they doing there, Mel? Because they fully vaccinated.
Somebody didn't tell the virus.
So fully vaccinated, you still have to wear a mask. You still have to get tested. You still have to do everything. And apparently you can still spread the disease. You can still shed the virus to people if you're fully vaccinated. So why the hell are you going to get it?
Well, the other thing he's talking about, I was reading, it was a thing that now he's looking like there's going to be every year you're going to have to get another kind of a booster forever. This is a never ending. Let's move the goalposts back another 10 yards every.
But at least that's true. It's never going to go away.
Yeah, probably
that's fine.
Not.
It'll become less and less dangerous over time. Well, and at least that's the way these things normally work. But it's just there. So let's have antivirals like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquines, get these things done like other countries are doing. Let's recognize that people that have had the disease have immunities that are stronger than the vaccine.
Yep.
At least according to most reports, other than the one done in the United States that was sponsored by government people.
By
Fauci.
About Fauci himself,
Yeah. So and this country won't even recognize natural immunity.
No.
It doesn't matter to them. Because we stopped talking science and we're talking about capitalism. We got to sell this vaccine.
Yep.
They got to move. We got to make some billionaires out there, and it's just crazy.
They are.
What's going on?
They are making some billionaires out there. That's the thing. And meanwhile, the middle class is getting knocked out.
Well, yeah, the middle class is getting knocked out for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
And everybody listening, you just got another 8.6%. Was it 8.6? 8.6% cut in pay.
Yep.
Okay, now you didn't feel it when you look at your check. You're not going to see it.
No.
You see it when you go to the grocery store. You go
to buy gasoline or groceries. You'll notice it there.
Yeah, you got an 8.6% cut in pay. Was it 8.6 or 6.8? 6.8.
6.8.
6.8. I'm dyslexic this morning.
Either way, it's significant.
Now, how many people would be elated they get a 6.8% raise? Raise.
If you got a raise, you'd be celebrating.
You'd be celebrating. Yeah, but that's huge. You get a 7% raise, almost a 7% raise. That's awesome to get a 7% raise. That'd be wonderful. That means like I've done something right. You just got a 7% cut in pay.
Yep.
And you're walking around listening to Biden saying, "This is a great economy, man. It's wonderful."
Yeah, I'm saying
we're doing so wonderful.
Starting to see $4 gasoline here in Yuma. So
that guy's tinkling on my leg, telling me it's raining.
That's right.
It's ridiculous. It's obscene with what's going on. And is there a lot of money out there? Yeah, there's money everywhere.
There's nothing that indicates that it's going to change in any way, shape, or form.
It's going to get worse
in the near future. Anyway,
it's escalating.
Yes, it is.
As prices go up, businesses pay more, and it starts compounding because then they'll raise, and that means prices go up, and then people have to raise again because prices go up. I mean, we saw this in the 70s. This is Jimmy Carter too.
Oh, yeah, it's bigger than that.
It is bigger, but it hasn't hit fully yet. Like Jimmy Carter, he was 15%, right?
Yeah, 15, 17%.
Yeah, we haven't been there yet, but it's coming.
It will be here, and when it does get here,
he can blame Trump.
Well, they're blaming him now. Why should they change their version of the story?
Do you know, with all the bounce around that was going on with the COVID and everything that hit and all that, and then the stock market went down 30%, came right back and all that, we didn't have inflation.
No.
We got inflation now. You know what the difference is? Policy differences. There's policy differences out there that have made this difference. And we flooded so much money into the system, and it's just gone crazy. And we've got tons of money running around, and now it's creating shortages, which is weird. And people stop working, and the inflation's going nuts.
Well, the thing is too that this is what they have done can't be undone just by changing who's in charge.
And fiscal policy, if you want to stop inflation, you tighten the money supply.
Yes.
What's Biden doing? He said, well, if we pay a bunch more money, it'll take care of inflation.
Yeah.
What? Show me where that would ever work or why.
Well,
it's like drilling another hole in the boat because water's coming in.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work.
We got to drill a hole so we can
let it drain.
Let it out. It doesn't work that way.
I'll be back. I got to take a break. We got Mick McGuire coming up at the top of the hour, just after top of the hour. So don't call if you're not him. We'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
From the 1-hour air conditioning and heating studio, this is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
There's a lot of devastation and sorrow. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I know I've lost some neighbors and they're hurt somewhere, and we're still trying to find people.
He's in Dawson Springs, Kentucky, where Police Chief Mike Opalek says there has also been some post-tornado looting.
Trash that are breaking into people's houses and stealing their belongings after they just lost everything.
Many communities were hit hard by tornadoes. One tore a 200-mile path. Fox Business Network's Brady Trimbles in Mayfield, Kentucky.
As you look around here this morning, the infrastructure that a town needs is gone. I mean, the houses are gone, the private businesses are gone, the banks are gone, courthouse.
Kentucky's governor fears 50 people could have been killed. At least 14 others are dead in 4 other states, with a lot of destruction also in Arkansas and Missouri and Tennessee and Illinois, where 6 died in an Amazon warehouse that took a direct tornado hit. In Texas, a candlelight vigil honoring someone who died turns deadly. Fox's Jeff Manasso on the case live.
Dave, the Harris County Sheriff's Office is searching for a gunman who drove by that candlelight vigil in Baytown, Texas Sunday night and began firing at least 20 shots on the crowd, hitting 14.
Of those, one was pronounced deceased at an area hospital. Another one has been taken by Lifeline in critical condition.
Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, investigators also say the vehicle used in the deadly drive-by is believed to have been found abandoned overnight and state.
Jeff, the Omicron COVID variant has now spread to 30 U.S. states and Washington, D.C., with a new mask mandate in effect today in New York State, while cases spike in Britain.
Omicron is producing hospitalizations, and sadly, at least one patient has now been confirmed to have died with Omicron.
That's Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He also says by tomorrow, Omicron will likely be responsible for half the new COVID cases in London. America's listening to Fox News.
Dell Technologies' end-of-year sale is the perfect time to upgrade tech. Save big on the latest computers featuring Windows 11 Pro that easily automate workflows. Don't forget to shop servers, storage, and top-brand electronics with savings up to 45% and all with free shipping. Call a Dell Technologies advisor to help you transform your digital workspaces with comprehensive end-to-end solutions. Find the right tech for your business needs at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
More than 1 in 3 people will face cancer in their lifetime. Unfortunately, fear can stop you from getting cancer screening, but it won't stop cancer. Early detection can save your life. Don't wait for symptoms to appear to act. Cancer screening is safe, effective, and accessible for everyone, including free or low-cost screening programs. Go to CancerScreenQuiz.com now and take the American Cancer Society's 2-minute cancer screening quiz to find out what screening tests are right for you. Don't wait. Take the quiz, get screened. Go to CancerScreenQuiz.com now. Cancer Screen Quiz.
Here's the news in 60 seconds, YumaDailyNews.com. A burglar broke into Ideal Jewelers and Suspiro's Bakery this past week. An employee from Ideal Jewelers tells Yuma Daily News that the burglar got away with at least $40,000 to $50,000 of jewelry. No information on the suspect at this time from police. A dangerous illegal migrant has been caught, charged, and convicted. Read what Border Patrol is doing to protect the area from criminals like this, YumaDailyNews.com. A new self-serve payment kiosk has been installed at City Hall here in Yuma. The kiosk increases payment options for residents while reducing customer wait time, especially for those who prefer to pay their utility bill in person using cash. Somerton Cocopah Fire Department has posted to social media about the struggles at the border. The department has had to deal with starvation and pregnancies in a recent wave of illegal migrants. The fire chief has released a statement. See what was said, YumaDailyNews.com. For more local stories, go to yumadailynews.com. I'm Andrew Caravella.
Come celebrate the joy of the season as the Yuma Civic Orchestra presents Spirit of Christmas. This evening of beautiful Christmas music will take place Saturday, December 18th at the historic Yuma Theater, 254 South Main Street in downtown Yuma. Showtimes 2 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $15. Visit yumaorchestra.org for more information.
The way we use electricity and the way we get charged is changing and will continue to change. That's why I love talking about my Rheem heat pumps and air conditioners. The new Rheem equipment are built with electrical demand in mind in ACs, heat pumps, and furnaces. If you're in the market for a new AC or heat pump, call Air Central Heating and Cooling, your local Rheem dealer.
Give Air Central a call. Or just log on to acyuma.com.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. It's 7:05. Mel's in studio.
Yes, sir. Thank
General Mick McGuire's on the line. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Russ. I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm getting ready for Christmas, so I want some good news. Do you have any?
Well, I
See,
think
that's a
the good
tough one.
news is we are one day closer to sending Mark Kelly back to space. Bezos says he needs a driver, so we can give him something to do. We're one day closer to that.
See, Mel, he came up with one.
Good.
I knew he could do it.
I hope he's right.
I knew he could do it. I hope you're right, too. Although we've got a lot of issues. You know, I talked this morning earlier about our hospital here locally. Finally, on the front page of the paper, a confirmation that our hospital's being overrun with illegal aliens. I don't know what we can do about it.
Yeah, you know, I remember, Russ, right as I was leaving the military back in April, I had a discussion with the Border Patrol section chief in Yuma, and this was in April of this year, and he told me, generally said, I had not seen anything like what he had seen in the first quarter of 2021, where 85% of the apprehensions were from people other than Mexico or the Golden Triangle. I personally was down on, I think, my 7th. I just made my 8th trip down to Yuma as a candidate for U.S. Senate. Last weekend, Gilbert Hernandez and put together a great Christmas party synchronizing the effort of all the Republican Party there in Yuma County. I know you were there, but on the trip just prior, we were down at the border. 2.5 hours we spent over there. 121 apprehensions in 2.5 hours in this small section. Nobody from the Golden Triangle or the border or Mexico.
Yeah.
So if Vice President Harris was going to try to stem the flow, she missed the target significantly. But I think that is the number one issue, is the greatest issue facing us. The wall has got to be completed, and then the surveillance and enforcement has to happen immediately, because it's completely lawless down there. Gone from a crisis to a full-blown emergency.
Well, I think Kelly right now is dancing to the narrative that there's no border issue.
He is, and I'll tell you, when this came up, if you remember a couple of things about my opponent in November of next year. He told us, Russ, he's going to be an Arizona independent. He voted 98% of the time with Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer can't find Yuma on a map. And the other thing I would add is shortly after this crisis began, when I talked to the Tucson and the Yuma Border Patrol section chiefs, said everything changed after the 20th. And the very first time Mark Kelly took a question about this issue, he said he wanted to study it. Well, Russ, you've been down there for years. Mm-hmm. I was fourth-generation Arizonan, 4 times in the Guard in my 20 years in the Guard, 34 years total an Air Force officer, but 8 years of commanding general deploying troops down. Never did I see such wanton lawlessness in broad daylight as I did on my last trip to Yuma. It's getting significantly worse.
There is a feeling when they come across now that they're good. They know they're going to be taken care of. They know that and I've been watching this since the 90s, where they would come across with a belt, made out of an old piece of rope and, clothing that was ready to be burned or something. These people are coming over now with cell phones and designer clothes, and, they get off a plane and they run over to the border and they go down and get free medical care. They're paying coyotes. Gary Snyder down there, who does a lot of interviews every day down there, like $15,000 for a family of four is the going rate, because they got to pay off government officials and everything else, and you're not going to get across the border without it. These guys are getting rich, and then they come down here, say they have no money, and getting free medical, hotel, everything.
Yeah, they are absolutely exploiting an open border, and it is, border security, as you know, Russ, is human security. And in Gadsden, Arizona, 90% of our great citizens in Gadsden speak English and Spanish, and you think about the day I was there, nobody that crossed through Gadsden spoke Spanish or English. So think about that nobody spoke Spanish or English. So you've got these situations going where you can't communicate with people, and your friend of mine, Nicole Wilkinson, sent me a picture the other day driving from Calexico to Yuma of 14 people walking on the shoulder of I-8 dragging their luggage, looking like they were coming out of the sea concourse at Sky Harbor here in Phoenix.
Right.
So like you said, they're not destitute.
Oh, no.
Add to it the public safety risk. When I was there just a few weeks ago, the sector chief in Yuma said in that stretch where the Normandy barriers are up along the Quechan tribe that parallels the river on the Arizona side between Arizona and Mexico, just south of the spillway. There had 29 deaths this year since January 20th.
I didn't know
drownings.
I didn't know it was that high.
Yeah, 29.
Wow.
So think about that. There's all this idea of it's inhumane to have a border. 8 years I was the commanding general of the Guard, Russ. Every summer we would get a call out for a Black Hawk to head out with Border Patrol to do human remains recovery in the open desert, along the river, wherever it might be.
I had a listener wanted me to ask a question of you about private business and the fact that you've always had a government paycheck. I mean, Air Force Academy, Air Force. How does that prepare you for being in the Senate, or does the lack of private business, or have you had private business experience?
Well, my greatest private business experience was with my father. My father was a naval officer, separated from the Navy when he was 5 years old after being raised in southern Arizona, going to U of A and growing up in Tucson. And I went to work for him in his private business when I was 9 years old. From 9 years old until I graduated from high school, worked every day and saw him grow a construction company from a small local company to being one of the biggest in the LA area. And after I graduated from high school, went off to the Air Force Academy. I think the biggest reason that we talk about when we run for public office is understanding the constitutional nature of every position elected officials take, the oath of office they take, and the idea that no one in the federal government is in the position of job creation. That happens in the private sector. And it is abhorrent that for my last 8 years, probably my greatest baptism in understanding what is the swamp, there are people in this country that live within a 50-mile radius of D.C. that actually believe there's such a thing as federal dollars. Russ, there is no such thing as federal dollars.
Yeah.
The hard-earned folks, hard-earned dollars in Yuma go to D.C. every April 15th, and that's where the revenue is generated for this great nation. And the government's got to get out of their way, let them do their thing. And I don't think we want senators to think that they're better than a local businessman at figuring out what their business wants. They tell me what they need, and my job is to get the regulation, the overburden of the taxation policy, and the environmental policies out of their way so that they can thrive in the capital markets.
How dangerous is this inflation right now? We're at 6.8% as of November, record highs for the last 30 years. And I don't think there's a real understanding on the street that how much this is going to pound us. Yeah,
I said the other day, I've driven 26,000 miles in 22 weeks, Russ, and the price of gas is making this campaign much more expensive than I expected it to be. But that's what we do. But think about it; it's $4 a gallon, and what I find amazing is the cost of all goods, not just. We saw him shut down the Keystone Pipeline. Now everyone is acting like when we shut down and cut our energy independence that President Trump had put us on a path to be an energy exporter, everybody wonders why the price goes up. You see the logistics and supply chain from China being bogged down with all these ships parked off sea. You see, just last go-around, I went to get the turkey for Thanksgiving. As one of my annual events is helping my wife prepare the meal and going to the shopping. My only major shopping trip of the year. I've never paid more than $1 a pound for turkey. It was $1.59.
Yeah.
So just that's a 60% appreciation on this present trajectory. And when one of my very first campaign stops, I had a guy who's from the construction industry say to me, said, General, before on the first of the year he was paying $18 for a sheet of plywood. He had just gone by to pick some up the other day. It was $60. Think about that. Now, it's come down some since then, but either way, even if it's down to $40, that's 100% inflation in a year.
Yeah, it's some things have gone nuts. I think it's worse than the 7% that they're saying it was 7%, but it feels worse than that. I don't think they're including.
Yeah, the consumable goods is crazy. Construction materials, fuel, the things that it takes to power along this great state and economy are going up, at least from my own personal budget, much more than 7%.
I know you have a lot of friends in the military still, I'm sure, but how bad is the military? I mean, I know there's changes in the military, more wokeness coming about, I guess, and purging maybe of some officers that don't align themselves properly. Is there a morale problem in the military now?
Well, I think the two biggest things that have affected morale in the military in the Biden administration is first the call for a stand down, an extremism stand down on February 4th that they had within 60 days. While I was the commanding general, I sent a memo to the Secretary of Defense, Austin, telling him I would not comply until someone could explain to me what problem we were trying to solve. This was a solution in search of a problem. And second, I had not ever adjudicated a case of extremism in the ranks in 14 years in command at different levels, yet somehow this was now rivaling suicide, an issue that I dealt with, unfortunately, many times, Russ, as a commander, and sexual assault or sexual harassment in terms of the negative impact it had on readiness and morale of the force. Yet we were going to take the entirety of the 1.7 million men and women uniformed services and sit them down and talk about extremism in the ranks. And, you heard me discuss this the other night.
Sure.
This was on the heels of me objecting to the idea of putting 26,000 soldiers fully armed and full battle rattle in D.C. without proper legal authority. We were the only state that did not comply with that. And we did not comply because since the beginning, I've been trained to follow legal, moral, ethical orders. And I think that you ask about, how does this affect the military? All of us are trained that way, and then they see these exceptions where high-level officers make statements. General Milley, he asked about extremism and morale and wokeness. I saw him asked by Senator Cotton in one of these hearings if he would resign. And he said, well, why would I consider resigning? I'm an apolitical actor. Setting aside the fact that his statements are anything other than apolitical, when you lose opportunity command in the military, it's because of loss of confidence. And the American people have lost confidence in him. He needs to step down. And then people ask, well, what would your role as a U.S. Senator be? And my answer is, he's a military officer. Washington reminded us the military is an autocratic monarchy nested inside this constitutional republic. He would face a tribunal of his peers charges would be preferred and due process would be afforded. That's how I see that resolving with him.
Well, we don't have anybody.
So yes, it's a problem.
Pushing that at this point. So how are things looking for you on the campaign front? Now this is your first statewide election type deal, and you put a lot of miles on the car. Have you slept at all?
Yeah, I had an event last night, ended at 10 o'clock, got home, got some rest, and up early. It's my first interview of the day. Another one here at 9 o'clock. The campaign's going great. The energy out there is real. You know, Russ, I tell them there are 3 emotions that I'm sensing at every location into all 15 counties. Fear, a sense of abandonment by the government and by the elected officials, and a sense of what's next. And I tell them those emotions can go only one of 2 ways. It can devolve into rage and the country will come apart at the seams, or we can channelize that energy in a positive way. I think Yuma County is the best example of channelizing it in a positive way. They're bringing people together, 288 people last week when we were together, Russ, and we're going to raise an army of 2 million voters that say, I pick Mick.
That's
ipickmick.com is the website, ipickmick.com, and that's what we're doing. And you said I've never run a statewide race. I've never run a race for dog catcher.
Well, you leaped into it pretty hard, and that's good. I mean, you've come to Yuma quite a bit. We've seen you here, and you even stayed afterwards and helped pick up the chairs. We don't have a lot of people volunteer for that kind of stuff, especially if you got to drive back to Phoenix that night. It's tough duty.
Oh yeah, we got back. We got back. Hey, listen, I tell people all the time when I was a commanding general, I'm no greater or lesser than any other member of the team. I just had a different set of duties, authorities, and responsibilities. Yeah. And I know Yuma, as an example, is right now the #1 county at synchronizing all of the elements of the Republican Party, the like-minded independents, our Hispanic communities, all together around the idea that this is the greatest country in the history of the world, and we're not going to let it come apart at the seams.
I appreciate all your time, sir. Have a great day, and keep working. We'll keep tabs.
All right. God bless you, Russ, and I look forward to being on again soon, and good morning, everybody in Yuma.
You got it, sir. Bye-bye. And we'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
In today's Ag Business Update from AgNet West, updates and enhancements in USDA's dairy coverage programs. We'll find out more in a report with USDA's Rod Bain after the break.
AgNet West Radio Network, your trusted agriculture news provider for the state of Arizona, bringing local, statewide, and national headline news right to you on this radio station. Let our team of Danielle Leal,
Budget revisions put surplus to good use for agriculture,
and Brian German,
Salmonella outbreak report points to adjacent land use.
Keep you informed here, weekdays over the radio airways, on our Farm City Newsday podcast, or online at agnetwest.com.
The Agriculture Department has announced updates regarding 2 of its dairy risk management programs for the year 2022. Here's USDA's Rod Bain and Farm Service Agency Administrator Zach Duchenow in this report.
A supplemental component to USDA's dairy margin coverage is among enhancements and modifications made for the program for 2022. Farm Service Agency Administrator Zach Duchenow says eligible dairy operations with less than 5 million pounds of established production history may enroll supplemental pounds based upon a formula using 2019 actual milk marketings. In addition,
we're also changing the DMC feed cost formula to better reflect the actual cost dairy farmers pay for the high-quality premium alfalfa that they need to produce in volume that their production needs in order to try to make that bottom line.
Meanwhile, regarding an amendment to the Dairy Indemnity Payment Program, which compensates producers for contaminated milk.
An important change that we made is we can now offer producers a choice to depopulate that cow and get out of that production that can only be indemnified.
Again, that was USDA's Rod Bain reporting, and I'm Danielle Leal reporting for AgNet West Radio Network.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Green arrows on Wall Street. Biden-fueled inflation soaring this year. Those stories next. By now, you know that MyPillow doesn't have their box stores or any shopping channels any longer due to the cancel culture. Well, Mike Lindell is now passing along those savings directly to you. Right now, you can get the lowest price in the history of MyPillow for their classic standard MyPillow, regularly $69.98, now only $19.98 with promo code Dobbs. They also have queen-size pillows, regularly $79.98, now $24.98 with promo code Dobbs. MyPillow is not just pillows. They have over 150 products, everything from sleepwear to beds. And my promo code Dobbs also works on mystore.com and frankspeech.com. Go to mypillow.com or call 1-800-977-9152 and use promo code Dobbs to take advantage of Mike's special offer on his standard MyPillow. That's mypillow.com, promo code Dobbs, or 1-800-977-9152. Consumer prices jumped 6.8% in November compared with a year ago. Costs for food, energy, housing, and other items surged, leaving Americans with the highest annual inflation rate since 1982. Biden-fueled inflation is intensifying pressure on consumers, especially lower-income households trying to buy everyday necessities. By the way, remember President Biden's tax and spend bill that he claimed would cost $2 trillion? The Congressional Budget Office says if spending increases in the bill are made permanent, which radical Dems intend to do, it would really cost $5 trillion. Despite inflation fears, stocks closed higher today. The Dow Jones Industrial's up 216 points. Please join me 3 times each weekday for my updates right here on this station. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Cold fronts headed our way. That'll bring us some rain, cool our temperatures. We're dry, though, today with some clouds, 69. A shower or two tomorrow, 71. Wednesday, sunny, cooler, 64 Wednesday. Shop 40 to 70% off almost everything at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. This week only, plus new deals on outerwear and sweats. Save through December 15th at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith from the Weather Channel.
Play at Kokopah Casino and Resort in December and see if you are naughty or nice. One winner every half hour has a chance to take home up to $3,500 in rewards play or cold hard cash. Drawings are every Sunday and Wednesday from 4 to 9 p.m. Earn entries daily by playing your favorite slots or table games with your rewards card. Get a little naughty or a little nice every Wednesday and Sunday in December at Kokopah. See the Rewards Club for details. We love our locals at Kokopah Casino, South Highway 95 in Somerton.
Spectrum Mobile is reinventing wireless again. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month per line. No contracts, no added taxes or fees. Includes nationwide 5G. Save up to 60% with Spectrum Mobile. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month. Call 855-438-2999 or visit a store near you.
Offer valid for new customers on 2+ unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Savings based on 2-line comparison of unlimited plans among major national carriers as of 9/20/21. Prepaid excluded. Restrictions apply.
Grown-ups devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. Take responsibility for your family's future and get your estate in order. Call my friends Sean Garner and Adam Hansen, attorneys at the law firm of Deason, Garner, and Hansen. Sean and Adam believe in giving free education to help people make smart decisions about their assets and leave a legacy for their family that they can be proud of. Schedule a consultation today. Visit yumaestateplanning.com.
Arizona runs on affordable energy produced right here at home. But as prices on everything rise, politicians in D.C. want to increase the cost of American-made energy. That means we may have to rely on energy from foreign producers instead of here in America, potentially making it more expensive to live here in Arizona. Tell Senator Kelly, don't tax American energy producers because affordable, reliable solutions are made in America. Paid for by Energy Citizens.
The Border Report brought to you by RV World, located on Gila Ridge Road. Exit Interstate 8 on Araby Road, then head west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. RV World, Yuma's premier recreational vehicle dealer since 1991, offering a large selection of new and used RVs. Let's check the border wait times now for passenger vehicles in the standard lanes. At our selected ports of entry, we await a couple of updates from both Algodones and Calexico East right now. Long wait at Calexico West, 2 hours, 7 lanes open. Same at San Luis with 2 lanes open. The wait is 2 hours. Get updated border reports anytime at yumadailynews.com.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. And let me see, we got Mel in studio.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Russell McLeod.
Good morning.
Carrie Tater.
Good morning.
What the heck are we talking about, kids? what are we doing? Suitcases. They're at the border. Go to the border.
So I heard.
That's where they're dumping them all. I don't know if there's something you want to give away, though.
No.
No, you don't want to go. You got to stay close to the mic. All
right, how's that? Better?
Oh, my God, that's wonderful.
All right.
That's the best you've ever sounded. So, who are you with now? What organization are you doing?
Arizona's Children Association.
Okay. And you're collecting suitcases for them?
So Russell McLeod at Accurate Automotive had a wonderful idea and he's done it in the past, to collect.
Wait a minute. You said Russell had a wonderful idea. That's in one sentence? Wonderful idea in Russell?
He did indeed.
All in the same? Okay.
He did indeed. And it was a idea to collect suitcases for foster kids who have an emergency situation and have to leave their home.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they have to either take a pillowcase or a trash bag. Most cases it's a trash bag.
And that's what I've seen before. Even at the border when people used to come across, they would have trash. But now it's suitcases. These guys are coming in with cell phone suitcases.
Right. Well, with the foster kids, we want to establish a little more dignity when they're leaving their home. It's very traumatic and stressful on the child when they have to leave their home.
Can't imagine.
In emergency situations. So Russell kindly offered to collect the suitcases at both of his locations.
Look, wonderful and kind. What other pronouns you like there, Russ? What do you got?
Whichever ones I paid her for, I don't remember.
That's great. So you saw a need out there that you wanted to help?
Yeah, I'd heard about that in the past, and actually, Yuma, when you identify a need, they're very generous.
You spent so many years with Amberley's Place. You saw a lot of displaced children.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear the stories, and they're always tragic. It
is.
It was a real privilege to be able to work with Amberley's Place for so long. But years ago, we did this, and it was so successful, they asked us to stop.
Please stop.
Please stop.
We need to.
They were out of room.
Store them. So, Carrie, what are you looking for? You looking for slightly used? You looking for new?
It can be new, gently used. Duffel bags are fine. Doesn't have to be a suitcase. Any size is fine because we have teens that actually end up leaving. And we want to make sure that these kids have something that's theirs forever. So if they have to be placed somewhere else, because a lot of times they get different placements throughout different homes. So we want to make sure they have one solid thing that's theirs.
I had a suitcase with backpack straps on it that could come out. I like those because I imagine I'm going to get displaced a lot.
I'll tell you, there's some little girls are going to be thrilled that there's some incredibly cute suitcases have rolled in. So.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
They make some nice ones. Some of these wheeled suitcases now do a great job with the wheels on them now and everything. Multi-directional, and they follow you along. Now if I can get someone to pull it for me. Where do they send these suitcases? Or do they call you and Russell goes picks them up? What are you doing?
Well, they're dropping them off at either our Foothills location or the location in Central Yuma. And
at Accurate Automotive?
At Accurate Automotive,
right.
Thank you. And we'll collect them there, and then at the end of the month, we'll take a photo and let people know how well Yuma responded.
Mm-hmm.
And Arizona's Children Association will then take those, as many as they're able. We can store what they can't. We're hoping for that good of a turnout. We are hoping we can collect enough suitcases to last the Arizona Children Association for the next year, for 2022.
Carrie, how many foster kids do we have in the county?
So Arizona alone is 14,000 and counting. Yuma County, even with the kinship families, we're about 3,700. So you have quite a need.
That's more than I would have thought. I don't remember it being that high. 3,700?
You have so many kinship families that so grandma might be taking care of the child.
Still a foster.
It's still a foster, exactly.
Yeah.
So we want to reach out and help as many people and kids, especially during Christmas, as we can. It's tough out there. I mean, there's a lot of grandmas that are taking care of 6 or more kids at once. So
good Lord.
Yeah. So if you look at it that way, Yuma's 5,500 square miles. So we cover Arizona's children. I'm responsible for all of Yuma County.
I can handle one kid in 3-hour intervals.
Well, you have a little one too. And congratulations, you have another one on the way.
Well, my daughter does. Yeah, another grandchild.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I gotta learn another name. I don't know how these people do it, Russell. You know, they say like, oh yeah, I got 10 kids and 14 grandkids and all that. I'm like, well, how do you keep track? I don't know.
That's what calendars are for.
Is that
So true.
how do you even know? Well, one was I went out looking at Christmas lights last night
Oh.
with a 4-year-old granddaughter.
Yeah.
Walking through the neighborhood.
Cute.
You know, it's just a lot of fun. They get a little exercise that way. Don't do it from a car. We're just walking.
That's nice.
Yeah.
She's adorable, though.
Yeah. Oh, she's a lot of fun.
And don't forget Candy Cane Lane. She's got to experience that.
Normally we drive through Candy Cane. I think I want to talk her into walking it too. You know, and a lot of people do.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know, they'll park their car down the street and then
Right.
and then walk along and the Candy Cane Lane and do all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I grew up a block from there, so.
You did?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you grew up.
Yeah, I did. Believe it or not,
I didn't know when
little.
that happened, Mel. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, and you
Say I
know,
matured.
Candy Cane Lane's going to have Santa there on the 17th and the 18th from like 6 to sometime. So make sure you go then with her so she can see
Nice.
Santa.
I'm going to do it. I heard at one time they were going to stop it, but that was just a rumor.
No, it's part of the deed.
Is it?
Yeah, when you buy the home, it's in their
There's
deed.
usually one house in there that's dark. I can't
Sometimes,
remember
not
where
when
it
I
is.
was growing up.
Yeah, no.
It was all out every
Part of
home.
it. That's a requirement.
It is
That you
indeed.
will
Is my
dec-
understanding.
You will
Yeah.
decorate. Put a candle in the window and say "Bah humbug."
I have seen over the years minimal, but but when I was growing up, they went all out, all of them.
So, Carrie, how do you get these to the kids? Is that something that
The caseworkers will take them out and,
Okay.
and actually give them to the kids before they're removed. So they actually have something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they'll be prepared. When, a lot of times they're at the school. Like they don't even get to go home. The last memory they have is a caseworker picking them up from school saying you're not going home.
now these are for kids? So you don't want one of those maximum suitcases, do you? Are you looking for the
No, they're
really
all
big
ages.
ones?
They're all ages.
They're
Yeah.
all
0
ages.
to 18. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
0 to 18.
So
So
when you get a teen, they may have quite a bit of stuff they want to pack and take with them.
Okay.
They want to keep, you want to help them keep their life as normal as possible. So whatever their wardrobe is.
Well, so what do you know about normal?
I've been working to achieve that.
Oh, is that what that is? But it is a disruption, and I can't imagine the hardships
Well, it's very
that these
traumatic.
kids go through.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it is to not be wanted, but never at such a young age. that's gotta hurt. Now, Carrie, you like the children's thing then?
Yeah. I think that's where I started out in nonprofit life is with youth.
And working with the kids, and I know you were at the Salvation Army
Yeah.
for many years.
And that was a lot with the youth, the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club.
Sure,
and,
you were.
Just active with the youth and just taking care of, and people who don't have voices need the strongest advocates.
Correct.
And I think children, foster kids especially, don't have voices, and they need that advocacy to come out and cheer for them and rally for them and do what we can.
And in the system of fosters, do they check on the parents occasionally? Apparently, I mean, check on the kids occasionally.
Well, one of our biggest thing is family reunification. That's the biggest goal we have. That's the number one thing we want to do is reunite the family if
but how
possible.
many ever are? I mean, is it common
Well,
to never have that happen?
It is common to never have it happen, but it's up to the parent, and that's where Arizona's Children kind of comes in because we have the behavioral health side, which most places don't. We're
Right.
not just child welfare; we're behavioral health as well. So we
And
take care of the
behavioral
mental.
for the kids or behavioral for the parents?
Both. We do parent aid
parents.
training too as well. Mm-hmm.
Because some parents may have some trouble or something and can't care
Mm-hmm.
for a kid. Oh, so you're looking to help with that too. And sometimes it could even be an incarceration or something.
It can be, yeah. And that's the great thing about ASCA is we believe in the full embodiment of the child and the family. So it's not just placing them or getting them adopted, but it's really caring for the entire family's mental health.
Some parents do this a lot, right? I mean, there's some some families that have had many foster.
Yes.
And they're like professional foster parents.
And yeah. Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness, right?
Thank goodness, yeah. We need those beds
Yeah.
in Yuma County for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's never enough.
Imagine so. What are they? So
Right.
at the Humane Society, how many dogs did you take home?
Oh, I took home a lot.
See, I wouldn't trust you with the kids. How many times?
You know, it's one thing. That's the one thing my husband says. You're not bringing home kids.
Is that right? Guess what, dear?
Yeah, no.
It's got to be hard to say no, though.
And let's remind people what we're talking about too. We are doing a suitcase drive.
I don't have to
give to these kids. So, and they keep the suitcase once it's given to them. It's theirs.
Oh, it's theirs. Oh, I would imagine that's the case.
It's not like they are borrowing it for a little while. It becomes theirs.
It's theirs.
Well, with that, tell us one more time where we drop them off.
Accurate Automotive Attention is collecting them at both locations. There's one in the foothills and one in Central Yuma at 15th Street and 3rd Avenue. So
all right. Anything
make it convenient.
Anything from new to slightly used or delicately
from new
used?
to
Don't give me a beat up one that has tape on it to hold it together.
No, that might be a little far.
They've already got one of those.
Even if they're old and a little bit tattered, it's much better than what they have now. Anything's better than a trash bag.
Appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm kicking you out.
Well, thanks for having us.
We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
Are you struggling to find quality employees? Tired of placing the same old Sunday classifieds or getting lost in the online job boards and getting the same results? Then you need to call us today at 344-4980 and put radio to work for you. It's fast. Place an ad today and have it on air tomorrow. Whether you're looking for hourly workers or to fill highly specified job descriptions, placing an ad on radio will help you fill these positions quickly. Call 344-4980 today and put radio recruitment to work for you.
H&R Block has many options to make filing your taxes easy. Our tax pros can help you get your max refund with or without the office visit. Drop in, drop off, or a tax pro can even do your taxes virtually. Send some pics from your phone without leaving home. Just another way Block has your back.
All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
So when you need a hand with your taxes, H&R Block is here for you. Drop off your taxes today at their offices in Yuma, the Foothills, or San Luis, and let their experienced tax professionals help get your taxes won.
Hi, I'm Russell McLeod with Accurate Automotive Attention.
And I'm Carrie Tater with Arizona's Children's Association. For children entering foster care, it's a very traumatic time, especially in emergency situations. That's where ASCA comes in. We want to provide them with a suitcase to carry their belongings instead of a usual trash bag. Imagine the difference to their self-esteem.
You are probably wondering what this has to do with Accurate Automotive. Please drop off a new or used suitcase to either of our locations. Imagine the difference you can make in these kids' lives.
'Tis the season for savings with APS. Shop the APS Marketplace online for energy-efficient appliances, smart thermostats, and more ways to save money all in one place. Now, for a limited time, get a free smart thermostat when you enroll in our Cool Rewards program at marketplace.aps.com. Must pay shipping and taxes. Requires enrollment in our Cool Rewards program. Promotional period November 15 to December 27, 2021. Offer good while supplies last. Visit marketplace.aps.com.
Arizona Marketplace open Thursday through Sunday, 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. Yuma's largest and busiest outdoor market. Food courts and free events. Cruising Car Show Saturday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 3. Bring the kids and take pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus Sunday the 19th, 11 a.m. to 1. All that and unique shopping, clean restrooms. Arizona Marketplace, 3351 South Avenue 4E.
Ed Whitehead's Tire Pros have been serving Arizona for over 20 years. Dune season is here, so ask about specialty tires for your toys. We also do alignments, brakes, oil changes, AC work, inspections, preventive maintenance, and more. Get your tires at any of our 4 Ed Whitehead's Tire Pros locations. Or use the Tire Finder online at edwhiteheadstirepros.com. Choose the perfect tire and make your appointment today. We also have free pickup and drop-off for your hassle-free experience guaranteed. Ed Whitehead's Tire Pros. Yeah, we got tires for that.
Come celebrate the joy of the season as the Yuma Civic Orchestra presents Spirit of Christmas. This evening of beautiful Christmas music will take place Saturday, December 18th at the historic Yuma Theater, 254 South Main Street in downtown Yuma. Showtimes 2 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $15. Visit yumaorchestra.org for more information.
The Border Report brought to you by RV World, located on Gila Ridge Road. Exit Interstate 8 on Araby Road, then head west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. RV World, Yuma's premier recreational vehicle dealer since 1991, offering a large selection of new and used RVs. Updated wait times now for passenger vehicles at all of the selected ports of entry, standard lanes. Algodones and Calexico East, each with 20-minute waits and 2 lanes open. Calexico West, 2.5 hours right now, 8 lanes open. 2-hour wait at San Luis with 2 lanes open. Get updated border reports anytime at yumadailynews.com.
Merry Christmas, baby. Oh, you should treat me right.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you at 7:44 on a Monday morning. Mel's in studio.
Yes, sir.
And we didn't get rid of Russell as I thought. Russell McLeod. I mean, what are you hanging around for again?
I thought it would be a good thing to do to thank El Dorado Broadcasting, because they took our budget and really stretched it to help us get the word out about the suitcase drive. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge their participation in this as well. So we're very grateful to El Dorado Broadcasting.
I hope it's a success. How many have you got so far?
Oh, probably 40 or 50.
That's a good start.
So it's a good start. Yep.
All right.
Now, so thank you, Russ. Appreciate
right.
the time.
Get out of here.
Okay.
All right. I cut him off, Mel. Come on. Hey, I got to mention Hyundai of Yuma. Hyundai of Yuma also advertises on the show. Veteran-owned business out there on 32nd Street. Go buy and test drive a car, truck if you can get one. Still a hot seller out there. But, the chip thing is going to be over, Mel. We're going to get as many cars as we want and trucks and everything from the Accent all the way up to the Palisade, which that Palisade's still hard to get too. I mean, they sell so fast. That and the Kia version of it, the Telluride. Some of the hottest cars in the country, the Telluride, the Palisade, the little truck, and all that kind of stuff. Although I don't think Kia got the truck, just Hyundai at this point.
Got the truck, yeah.
They're the ones. Get over and tell them we said hello. Jill Biden was in the news. Did you know that?
Oh?
Yeah.
What did she do?
Well, it's what somebody did to her. CBS correspondent Rita Braver asked her, since you can't talk to Joe, let's talk to Jill.
Okay.
So they asked her to comment on a latest poll, a recent poll where 46% of American voters agreed with the statement that Joe Biden is mentally fit. Only 46%. 48%, oh, heck no. That's a heck way to ask a poll. What do you think of Joe Biden is mentally fit? Do you agree or disagree? That's not asking if he's mentally incompetent. I think it would have been different. It's the way you ask sometimes, too. He still lost it. He still had more people say, heck no, he's not mentally fit.
And her response?
Was, and she is she is the wife and everything. And you think the wife would throw him under the bus, but no. She said, I think that's ridiculous.
Yes.
No, she doesn't. She's known Joe, since she was their babysitter.
Yeah.
And she has to have seen a little bit of a slowdown and a few French fries fall off that truck. Yep. But I guess she's still playing her role, saying it's ridiculous. And then they asked her, and this is always a fun question, when they asked her if she was, and she plays a role as a informal advisor. Now, I think that's a fun question to ask a first lady. That's where it should be, right? And that just meant that they were treating her like a real person, not just a favored Democrat that we're not allowed to talk to. And she said, I listen to him, he listens to me. It's a marriage. And, we talk about what's going on every day and what's going on with our lives. I'm not his advisor. I'm his spouse. I'm his wife. Great answer, actually.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought that was about as good an answer as anyone's going to give.
Her writers do a better job than Joseph.
I think that's what it is. But it almost sounds like she'd practiced that answer.
Yeah.
Like she's smart enough to know it was coming, or somebody did.
Sure.
Like you're going to get asked this question someday.
Of course.
When the press feels brave enough.
Yeah. As times go by and things start happening.
Yeah.
But
so I thought she did. Now, the first way went on to talk about her husband's shrinking poll numbers.
Mm-hmm. And?
During the campaign, Joe made certain promises, things that he would do. And I thought, wow, that's a great start to saying he didn't do any of them, but she doesn't quite do that. She says, and we were going through a pandemic, which no one would have anticipated. When you were a candidate, they had COVID.
Yes, that's right.
In fact, Joe talked about the COVID during the whole candidacy. Like, if Trump makes a vaccine, I'm not taking it.
Let's face it, it's 80% of the reason he won.
Yeah. So he did come in and rescue America with the America Rescue Plan.
Really?
And I was just say, when did he do that? I missed it.
Yes.
And millions of families got money because they were desperate. Yeah, I believe that. Millions of people did get money. Yeah. And it frustrated the businesses. In fact,
it's ruining the businesses is what it's doing.
Well, yeah, and I had a, gosh, I can't find it again to read it exactly, but there was a Denny's somewhere in the world. I don't know where. There was a Denny's somewhere in the world that a sign was put out front that thanks to Joe Biden's giving money freely or something to everybody, and nobody wants to work, so we're cutting our hours because they couldn't get help and all that, which I thought was hilarious. They put it right out there. Now, I read it off of Twitter, and whoever put it out on Twitter didn't like it and said, if this is the attitude of the corporate, I'm not going to go to Denny's anymore, or IHOP. It's IHOP.
Yeah.
And made me think, well, God, I'm going to IHOP. Somebody told the truth.
Yes.
It's kind of nice, actually. So we heard firsthand that Joe Biden says Joe's not nuts. So there you go. You can believe it. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Rollins.
Hey,
that's
Mr.
in Wyoming.
I was going to say, well, I didn't know where that was. It's in Rollins is in Wyoming?
Yes.
Where at?
Last I heard. It could have been blown away last night.
Oh, okay.
It was only 28 degrees.
Ouch.
Shutting down all traffic. There's a couple things I wanted to mention.
Shoot.
I think closing the border is very, very simple. Could be done in one sentence by either one of our Arizona senators. Do you know how they do it?
No.
All they have to do is say, we will not vote for any Build Back Better bill until you shut down the borders. Now you have to choose. You know he's going to choose the Build Back Better bill. I don't care what our two senators say. The fact that they won't do that, the fact that they never have done that, speaks louder than words.
But I hope they never do, though. I hope they don't, and here's why. If you remember Obama wanted to get the Obamacare passed so bad, and there were senators that were holding out and says, I won't do it until I get this or this for my state. I got to get something for my state. Mm-hmm. Obama gave them everything they asked for. He got the votes, and then he reneged on all of it.
You've got a point.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it. Why haven't they stood up for the state of Arizona?
They haven't. Well, Kirsten Sinema has in that respect. And
She's never said, I will not vote for this until you... She's never done that.
No, she was not going to vote for the removal of the filibuster. So, yeah, she would vote for the bill. She would. I think that's been...
McConnell could have said, I'm not going to help you raise the debt limit until you shut down the border. He didn't even do that. He just gave him. Just gave it to him.
I don't mind you call in occasionally, Mike, but you can't keep mentioning his name again. I don't even know how to handle that.
How about the turtle? Just call him the turtle.
Yeah.
You know, a little late to the show.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm calling about what Mark Levin said on his Thursday night radio show, still bothering me, and today's Monday.
Yeah.
He gave a section on international politics. Before I say what he said, Obama brought in Joe Biden into as vice president. He said the reason why is we need international expertise in the presidency. You can look that up. That's when he announced that he would be vice president. During that day when Kamala was chewing him out up on the stage with all the other actors out there acting or pretending, she talked about a child being dramatically because of school buses and all that. Anyway, it was that day that Joe Biden said, I am an international expert. So let's look at what Mark Levin said. Mark Levin said that he told the president of Ukraine this last week, just give Russia what they want. It's easier. Mark Levin said that.
Wow.
So everything that Joe Biden is saying is a lie. Or Mark Levin lied.
I think it's Joe Biden, but he's been horrible. He hasn't gotten anything right ever as senator, as vice president.
Time as the senator, he lied. So
Let's go with the next sentence out of Mark Levin's mouth.
Okay.
He went right into Israel. He said, Israel's been calling the president. Do something. He's talking about Iran.
Right.
The reason why Iran won't come to the table and talk about the John Kerry agreement is because they're moving 4 times faster than the John Kerry agreement towards their A-bomb. So that's why they won't come to the table. Now, we're still giving them money from that John Kerry agreement. Okay?
Yeah.
And France and Germany are buying oil against the sanctions, giving them billions of dollars every month to buy their oil. They know there's sanctions out there. Never once did Biden call them and say, you do realize you're not supposed to be buying oil from Iran?
Yep. And Trump had that all shut down. Trump was squeezing them.
Yep.
He had them on their back.
Yeah. And,
okay.
And as
so
soon as
this
they,
is what,
and Biden gave them money.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Biden gave them money so they could buy rockets. Mm-hmm. And then give them to
Biden is
Palestine.
still giving them money. According to the John Kerry agreement was, slow down, we'll give you money.
Right.
They speed up, we still give them money. Okay, so now Israel's calling all the time, do something. So he did. He told Israel this last week, if you do anything, we are no longer alliance. We no longer have any pacts. We no longer have any alliances with you.
But
basically, he said, we'll dishonor every agreement we have with you if you do anything to Iran.
My assumption is that Israel's going to do what Israel does in spite of Joe Biden because they have to survive, and they know they have to. They have to survive, so they will worry about that when the time comes. But knowing that Joe Biden's so weak and never follows through, he probably won't on that either.
They have decided, they've decided we're just going to follow through what we have to do. You're correct. And not even tell Joe Biden. So you're going to hear one day on the news, I didn't know anything about this. We're their ally. They didn't say anything to us. They're the state of New Jersey, the size of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Outnumbered 60-1. They can't fire a warning shot. They cannot do a measured response. They can only do one response. One, it won't be pretty. Joe Biden's going to get people killed with his international expert policy.
Yeah. Oh, he has no clue what he's doing. And then he's got John Kerry that, was it France that he sat down and brought James Taylor to sing to him so they felt better?
He's...
Yeah.
Well,
because they included him in a deal that was actually he dishonored an agreement they previously had.
Yeah, so we'll have James Taylor sing a song to you.
Yeah.
How wonderful.
NPR News gave us a preview of the new running slogos for the Democrats coming up in 2022. They had an author on NPR Friday, and it caught my attention because it said one party is bringing lies into politics of the U.S. and is bringing down the U.S., and there'll be no more U.S. And I thought, which party is he talking about? In his closing remarks before they signed off, he said, quote, Trump has begun the second coup of the U.S.
What?
The January 6th was only a start. It was only practice. That was his sign-off to read his book. He has a book out. And I'm thinking, you mean you've been talking about the Republicans all this time? It got my blood boiling. Then I realized something.
What?
It's a brilliant twist of the truth. Everybody knows there's problems out there. Not everybody knows why. All you have to do is say, look at January 6th and look what Trump is trying to do right now. You need to vote for Democratic. I just think it's a brilliant twist of the truth. I didn't say I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm saying look at how they're going to campaign. They're not going to campaign on any issues.
No. And I get pretty fed up with this January 6th thing, in that Look, if it was there, we've got it all on tape. Show us. If it was there, then charge somebody with treason, charge somebody with insurrection, charge somebody. They don't do it.
All you're going to get is a political one-line zinger. That's all you're ever going to get.
And if Trump was behind him, put him in handcuffs. That's fine. But do something. They do nothing. All they do is they have like 500 people in political jail. Like we're a banana republic.
Everywhere. If you vote for Trump, you're bringing down America. He's starting a coup.
I'll tell you who's bringing down America was the coup that Biden's doing while he's pointing the finger at Trump, saying there's a coup over there. Don't look here. And it's Biden that's taking us into...
Exactly. Whatever they're accusing Republicans and Trump of doing, they are actually doing themselves.
Because of the Patriot Act, they say, I'm out of time. I'm kicking you off. Go back to Wyoming. We'll see you, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye. Appreciate that. That was Mike, our truck driver. I'll be back tomorrow. Mel, good seeing you. I'll see you on Wednesday. All right, buddy. AM 560, KBLU.